So remember in my exhaust review I stated that the paint job can totally change your opinion on a mold? Well, that stands true here with Select's Hubcap. Hey, what's up? Today I've got Select's Hubcap for you. This guy was just straight repaint of Deluxe Earthrise Cliffjumper with a new head, and yeah, just like exhaust, I like this figure a lot more than the original. Now let's talk about why. The figure itself is the same thing as Cliffjumper, so same transformation, same design, same articulation, so I'm just going to skip all of that. But if you want to see that, you can check out my Cliffjumper review, link in the description, and you know, subscribe. Hubcap does have some differences, mainly the paint and the head. So let's talk about the head first. The head sculpt is very, very nice. Its shaping is excellent, and the sculpt is very reminiscent of the original toy, and I really, really like how that looks. And, well, he is very yellow. Very yellow. If you aren't a hardcore Transformers fan, if you're just like a casual person who picks up a figure every now and again, you'd probably definitely confuse this thing with Bumblebee, as my sister did. And I don't blame you. It's a yellow Cliffjumper that's automatically associated with Bumblebee. If you aren't a hardcore fan, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference unless you look at the head sculpt. The black of the joints and the skeletal parts really helps bring out that yellow, though, a lot more than it did the dark red, because the yellow is so much brighter, and it makes the figure stand out more, and I really like that. Even though he's small, he still stands out on a shelf due to that mix of color. If you stand in next to like leader class figures and Voyagers, you'll still be able to see him because he just pops very well. The weapon is also the same, so I won't go too deep into it, but the colors they used here are a lot different than the original, and I like them more. I mean, I know silver is nice and all, but something about the matte gray just looks so much nicer. Now, car mode. This car, this amalgamation of many different makes, if you want to know how many makes, check out the Lazy Eyebrow Reviewer's video on this because he talks about all that. Still looks as good as ever, but I want to talk about the paint and the plastic for just a sec. I know it's kind of boring, but hear me out. So Cliffjumper was praised for his matte red paint, and I love it. I'm a huge fan of the matte/brushed look to things. My laptop, brushed metal. My PC, matte black. My keyboard and monitors, matte black. My phone, matte white. You get where I'm going. I really like the matte color aesthetic. However, the glossy paint on this figure is so nice. Now, glossy figures usually aren't done very well. Take Cyberverse Hot Rod, for example. His plastic is very glossy, to the point where oils start to stick to the material, especially if you have naturally oily skin, or if you just like moisturized or something and you've got that all over your hands and it gets all over the plastic. It makes it feel a lot more oily, and it gives it that knockoffy feel and that slimy feel, which no one really likes. Hubcap, though, doesn't seem to have that problem. The glossy figure's paint feels a lot more like the glossy Masterpiece paint that you get on, say, Masterpiece Inferno. And in the hand, it just feels wonderful. I'm a huge fan of this plastic and paint, and I kind of prefer this feel over Cliffjumpers. I mean, yeah. Overall, I'd say buy this guy, even if you have Cliffjumper. Yes, it's the same figure, but it just feels different enough to warrant a purchase if you already own Cliffjumper. If you don't own Cliffjumper and can't decide which one of these to buy this one. Not only because it stands out more and feels a tad better, like even the joints on this one are tighter than my Cliffjumpers, but because it's also a rarer figure. But they are making two other versions of this mold. Bumblebee, which I will be avoiding because I have absolutely no interest in that figure, and Bugbite, which I will be buying, so subscribe so you don't miss that video. I cannot wait for Bugbite. But that's been my look at Select's Hubcap. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, links in the description, and I will see you next time.